Officially yourself. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining us. This is so fun. Lynn and I totally are like on the same page with this. Like it's really great music actually starts with the composer. And where it goes from there, only I guess the world knows. And oh, I see Christina Marinesco. So nice to see her. Um,
Oh,
can we spotlight Sima Cunningham, who's our first guest?
Christina.
Sima Cunningham.
Yeah,
Hi.
Do you see her? Do you see her, Sonia?
um, she's gonna, she's going to Spotlight. She's taking over now.
There she is, Sima Cunningham.
Hi.
Yes, Sima's in Chicago. She's a Chicago native, born and raised here. And I know Seema's been in many bands, but most recently, the way I know Seema is she's in a band called Ohm, and she's half of Macy Stewart, my daughter, and Sima Cunningham. And these little Dickens have been around the world since they were in high school. So I am so proud of them and so like honored to have them on my show here. And I am, I guess, Sima, tell us about where you're at today and where you started.
Yeah. Um, I am a composer, musician. I grew up in Chicago. Was and I started playing piano when I was about 5 years old, and always loved to um, record songs and write music, and was always making up songs in my head. And um, my parents always said that I could, like, I had a bunch of songs memorized before I really knew how to talk. So music has always been, my dad is a musician as well. He played in a lot of blues and a couple of reggae bands actually in Chicago before I was born, and still plays music to this day. Um, so I grew up, I played piano. I was in the Chicago Children's Choir from the age of 6 until I was 18. And I grew up in a very multicultural singing group where we sang music from all over the world. We sang South African protest song and classical, big classical pieces and gospel and Bulgarian choir songs and all kinds of stuff. I got to go to South Korea and sing with them in 2008, and we got to sing for the Dalai Lama when he came and spoke at Millennium Park back in 2007, I think that was, or 2006. So
Wow.
the choir was really a big part of my life. So obviously, harmony, melody, but also how harmony works together, which is why my main band, Ohm, I feel like that is a big played into a lot of the music that I make with Ohm now. Um, Started playing guitar when I was 12, mostly acoustic guitar, and then in my early 20s, I started experimenting more with electric guitar. And I moved to New York City to go to college at NYU, and I studied cultural diplomacy there. Just kind of looked at how music functions as cross-cultural language, and then moved back to Chicago, started playing music. I help organize some music festivals and helped open a couple music venues here in Chicago as well.
Yeah, pretty big venues too, right? You're part of Constellation over on Western, right?
Yeah,
And you're
Constellation was it used to be the Viaduct Theater, but now it's Constellation, and they present a lot of experimental and improvised and all kinds of music. And that was where Ohm started. That's where me and Macy. It was kind of one of the first bars that we hung out at a lot in Chicago. A couple of, the Hideout, of course, as well. So,
and you're
yeah,
part of the big festival called
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork. Yeah, Pitchfork's big in Chicago. And so
Yeah.
you're a big founding member of that group as well, correct?
Not a founding member, but yeah, I helped organize that for over 10 years. So
Very.
which means, yeah, and then for the past 5 years, I've been touring pretty nonstop for the past 3 years with Macy and our band Ohm. So we've gotten to tour Europe and all over the United States many, many times over. I also tour as a musician. Uh, I also tour as a musician with uh, Jeff Tweedy from Wilco sometimes. And I do a lot of recording sessions. I also have a recording studio here. My partner is a recording engineer and sound engineer. So we make a lot of music down here.
Yeah, you have a very nice state-of-the-art studio, I might add. It's very nice. Yeah.
Hey, Seema, I wanted to ask a little bit about TEDx. What did you do with or for TEDx?
Oh, that was in Armenia in 2012, I think.
Hmm.
I'm half Armenian, and for those of you who don't know, Armenia is a small country. It was just in the news a lot for kind of unfortunate reasons because there was just a really intense war that was fought, Azerbaijan and Turkey attacking Armenia, but Armenia, it's a really wonderful place. I started going there in 2010 and playing shows, and I volunteered a couple arts organizations there and started playing a lot of music with local folks there. And then I ended up giving a performance talk they had a TEDx session, I guess you call them TEDx conference. And I gave a performance at TEDx Yerevan in 2012. Um, and yeah,
Amazing.
so going to Armenia and working on music and cultural diplomacy over there is a big part of my life as well. And actually, Macy went to Armenia with me a year ago.
Oh my God, that was just last year. Yeah.
Just last year, she went and we played shows in Tbilisi, Georgia, and then in a couple places in Armenia. And it
I
was
am just I am just fascinated by Ohm. I was telling you earlier, Macy was one of our first guests on the Composers Cafe. And my gosh, you guys are so impressive. I mean, Macy first came onto the screen and I said, "Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's this little girl." And oh my gosh, by the end of the session, I was blown away, right? I have listened to so much of you guys' music and watched so many of your videos. What kind of music does Ohm do?
Um, well, we often have a lot of trouble describing ourselves, but I would describe it sort of as like experimental pop rock, maybe, or some people call it avant-garde rock.
Okay.
It's very melodic, but it's also has a lot of noise and chaos in it as well. It can feel very, rock and roll at times, but then at other times it is um, weird.
But that's
I
what
think
makes
they
it
call
so
that
awesome.
art rock. I like the term art rock.
Art rock, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely unique, but that's why I think Ohm is so appealing to a lot of people. Who of you guys? I know we're talking about Ohm, and then we're talking about Sima Cunningham. So, how much of your composing and writing are you doing with Ohm or for Ohm, and how much are you doing for Sima?
I guess I would say half and half. I write a lot of music that feels more in the Sima solo vein. I feel like my solo music bends a little bit more towards like folk Americana, singer-songwriter, even country. And my own music is yeah, just a little, I already described my music, so.
Sure,
But
sure.
um, I do half and half, and for me, I'm kind of a spurt songwriter. Like I don't necessarily write a song every day or even every week, but usually if I get into a writing mood, a lot comes out at once. So like I had one day this summer when I wrote 9 songs that just
Wow.
kept rolling, 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 and so I definitely like have learned that like when I catch a wave, it's like
Mhm.
I have to ride it all the way because it can end up being where I get a lot of my material for whatever I'm working on.
Absolutely. And
I,
I think you had, I'm sorry, Sammy,
or
you
I
had
was going to say on that same writing vein, I was going to ask, it's like, how do co-write? How does co-writing work?
Hmm.
I was going to ask lyrics or music or both.
No, yeah, well, both. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, more so co-writing music because I mean that's something I'm very interested in. It's like how does that work with you and Macy?
Yeah. Well, I tend to write songs where the lyric, that at least like the center of the lyrics and the melody come at the same time. Like often it's sort of like I feel like it's like sculpting. It's like out of nothing you kind of get a line and you know what vowels or sounds like work and feel really good there. And then sometimes like a line just pops out and it kind of tells you what the song is about, and then you build out from there, and build onto that. Um, so that has been, sometimes I write just strictly poetry and then turn it into melody. And sometimes I write, come up with it depends, but often I feel like my favorite songs are where the words, the chords, and the melody all kind of find themselves at the same moment, and you kind of keep rolling over and over and over with them, and then you can like expand it from there. But um, co-writing is really tricky, and it has taken me and Macy a while to actually, really genuinely co-write. Both of us, it's hard because a song comes, a really personal song. It's such a personal expression of something, and you don't want to like say exactly, you don't want to have to spell it out for someone, like what a song is about, or like, you're not trying to like, you're not writing a recipe, you're not giving instructions to someone, you're not trying to like, um, you know, uh, write an exact account of something. You're creating an artistic reflection of some thought that went through your head, some emotion. And so that can be really tricky to share across two people without kind of, um, shattering the beauty of the thing, the kind of ungraspable thing of what the song is about. But that being said, I think after a long time collaborating and recognizing, with yourself, like as a songwriter, as I've matured and as both of us have grown and also learned so much about how we complement each other, knowing when I have an idea or when she has an idea, and when we can turn that idea and offer an opening to collaborate is kind of more, I think, how songwriting works. Like, I think it's really hard to like write a melody and just toss it over to the other person and say, hey, write some lyrics, especially if some lyrics are already written. I think it's hard to like
Yeah.
kind of share piecemeal, but we've always like shared the development of ideas. That's why why we identify songs and identify, basically it's we have to find a role for each other and space for each other in the song. And if it doesn't exist, then it's not an song.
That's so interesting because I just remember when you guys first started, I always go, oh, that's a Macy song. That's a Sima song. But I mean, that was a game I played, whether I was right or wrong. I'm not saying I was always right. And more often than not, everything sounds so cohesive. It always sounds like Om now. Om has found their voice.
For sure. I definitely think that we have like a unified voice now, especially on the most recent record,
Yeah, it's
Fantasize.
awesome. Fantasize Your Ghost, if you haven't heard it yet, is a most amazing album.
Yes, it is. And is Macy also writing lyric and melody? Are you both writing lyrics? Are you both writing music? How does
Mhm.
that work?
Yeah. Like how does it work within Ohm?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Usually we both like write some songs or some half ideas and then bring them to each other. And then
I
we like
see.
start the collaborative process. So
Nice.
sometimes, occasionally, we will just play music from scratch and improvise because that is kind of where we started. We love improvising, both of us. And then that will like, out of that will emerge something new. Occasionally we do it that way.
It's so
But
fascinating.
both of us write lyrics, music, melody, arrangements. Yeah.
So Sammy, I asked that question because most people come together because one writes lyrics and the other writes music, right? So how often is it that people that write both come together?
That's what that was like a question I thought of before we came on because I was like,
It's
that
unique in and
how
of itself.
give up a little bit of some of a direction you thought you were going in to a direction your partner wants to go in. It's a little, I don't want to really go there, but okay. It's scary. It's scary to kind of let go of an idea that even it's not complete idea, but
I
yeah.
mean, I think like all partnerships, it's not going to work unless there's mutual respect and like a mutual admiration and like knowing that what the other person does is special. And, from there, then, as long as, you establish that and reaffirm that, you can also help, you know, help evolve things together. So I mean, it's definitely, yeah, like songwriter and melody. I mean, there's a couple, obviously, some famous examples, McCartney and Lennon and
Yeah.
um, other ones.
There's a lot. I know there's a lot.
I would say it's rare. It's rare
Rare. Yeah.
because it is challenging, and I think that I would say I'm sure most of them were probably similar to us, where it is not like every song is a total collaboration.
Mhm.
It's that every song is a shared, more like sharing rather than like total collaborating. If that
I, I have this one question that I like to ask everybody, and it's like, is it the song? Is it the arrangement? Is it the lyrics? Is it the singer? What do you feel is most important, or in what order does it happen?
um I, I don't know if I totally will stand completely behind this, but I think it's the song first. I think that lyrics are really important, and good lyrics will make a good song shine. But I think that ultimately, the thing that people walk away from with or without knowing the lyrics is the song. I think melody is really important. And I think, and I think that that is attested to by you can write a good song and then, the best songs will fly far beyond the original singer. And, you know, uh, yeah, a song I really feel like is like the mysterious gift from wherever, you know what I mean? Like a voice, you know, voices are instruments, people are instruments. They're also artists and interpreters, but yeah, songwriting is such a beautiful and mysterious thing for, when done well.
Such a lovely thing to say. So, do you ever, do you love every song that you write?
No, I like a lot of the songs that I write. Usually I've written a lot of songs and then if I like forget to record them or write, or whatnot, or, forget if I forget the melody, then that probably means it wasn't that great of a song. So I usually don't get too hung up on if I lose a song to the ether because if it didn't stick around me enough for me to like recall even a couple notes or even then it's like it's okay if something
Another
else.
one will come.
We talk about that all the time too, Sammy. So do you have within Ohm with Macy? Are there songs that you guys have written and you like some of them, and she's like, that's all right, and vice versa?
Yeah, that's good.
uh yeah, yeah, there are some songs that like were it's more like there's some songs that like I think there's the recording of the song, there's the performance, and then there's like the live performing of the song. There's the making of the song. Some songs are really fun to make, and then some songs are fun to record or hard to record. Some songs are just fun to play live. So they
Mm,
have different
interesting.
they have different lives. Like there are certain songs that we just always love to play live, even if they aren't necessarily like our favorite songs that we've ever written, but they're just so fun. Like just um yeah, just really fun. So,
Oh, I have to ask one more thing. So, Um, I know I want to keep track of time because we have two other fabulous composers. But when you compose a song and you make these fabulous arrangements in the studio, how do you decide what to leave out when you're performing live?
Well, sometimes ability dictates that, or we we never feel like we need to be 100% devoted, loyal to a recording of a song when we're making the live performance of the song. And both of us kind of feel like there's a record and then there's a show, and those can be different. They're inspired by each other, but there's no need for a song to like stay in the same form that it was on the record. That's why you have the record. You can go
Ah,
listen to
very
the record.
interesting.
But
I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, oftentimes I think we just make sure that some of the basic elements are there. Like where is like the song energy coming from? And let's make sure we have that covered. Let's make sure, one of us kind of in like a, at least when we were a duo or when we perform duo, usually one of us like holds down the center, and then another one of us can kind of like fly free with the instrumentally wise, and then sometimes both of us just go out and then we somehow find a way to come back together. When we got a drummer, that whole process made it a lot easier because he could kind of be the center, that like held the energy and moved us forward, while both of us could either like build on top of that energy, or both of us could like fly away and kind of go wild and then find our way back through the drums. And then our voices too. So we always, um, our voices can either be sort of like the centering point of the songs, or they can like be expansive while the guitars are just like chugging forward, moving forward.
Because that's that part, that creativeness of arranging is almost as creative as the songwriting ability. I mean, I think your guys'
Yeah.
arrangements are so fabulous, and there's only two of you, so that's
Yeah.
And
except
they're
for when you have the drums. Yeah.
right, and they're complex. I mean, they're very complex pieces that you guys are putting together. I get to the end of a song, I'm like, how do they remember when to come back in or where to do what?
Yeah. I mean, I think both of us, because both of us grew up with classical music in our backgrounds,
It
like
goes.
linear composing or like pieces that move through like sections or parts is familiar to us. So we're kind of familiar with not necessarily having to A B, but like the we're familiar with, the dynamics of an entire piece and how you move through that. And so I think we think of our live performances when we do songs in that context a lot.
In that
I
context.
think so too.
And Sammy, before we get to listen to Seema perform, I wanted her to talk a little bit about Fantasize Your Ghost and what this pandemic has done to the release of that album. So,
Oh my God, that came out in June, right? Right,
yeah,
smack
show
dab
us.
in
Hold
the
it up,
middle of
Seema.
the pandemic.
This is our record.
That's the latest record. And the release date for that was what?
There's Macy, Sammy's daughter. The release date for that was June 5th, 2020.
Mhm.
So,
Smack dab in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh my God, they had such a wide, awesome tour lined up with so many great spots with so many great bands.
So what has this meant for you?
it's definitely been a challenge. We were on tour on the East Coast until March 9th, and we got home, and both of us were working on recording projects and planning to go back on the road March 13th. And then, March 10th, it was like our show. March 12th got canceled, 13th got canceled, 14th, and then it was like March is canceled, April, and, here we are. And yeah, it has been challenging, and really difficult because we sort of, I mean, I think both of us feel really lucky because we have so much ability to kind of keep writing and recording and creating and collaborating. Like we've been able to, enter each other's pods to collaborate and keep working on stuff and do some live streaming together. So that has been really nice, but I won't sugarcoat it. It's been incredibly difficult. There's a lot of unsurety. There's a lot of stress about how we're going to make ends meet. And, and I think that sort of perennial worry is like, that challenge of like, oh, we were really figuring this out. We were figuring out this touring music thing, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
And, both of us, this is what we want to do. So we were sort of mid early dream, and then it kind of paused. So
You guys, I feel like this was the breakout tour. I don't know. To me, it was the breakout tour. I think it was going to happen this year because this album is so
we
fantastic.
laugh a lot. We laugh a lot because at the end of 2019, we were like, 2020 is going to be a big year for us. We're going to have an amazing 2020.
And then life happened.
And then life happened, and then,
But you guys did do a concert just a few weeks ago, right?
yeah, we did.
Is it still on YouTube?
The release?
It is, yeah. It's if you search Ohm Constellation, we filmed a whole live concert special, and it turned out really well. And Sammy's other daughter, Delaney, designed an incredible set design for us, and it was really great. So again, we feel really lucky that we're sort of, hanging on and able to keep creating. But yes, it is certainly a bummer, and it's sad to not be able to play live shows, and it's sad to not be able to connect with an audience. So thank you so much for having me here, because it's really nice to get to play for people.
Absolutely, and things are going to change soon. We know that they will. Tell us a little bit about Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, a lovely guy.
He is.
Yeah, he's he grew up in Chicago as well. So we've all kind of known each other. He's more Macy and my brother's age. Yeah, so we were singing with him a couple years ago. It's been quite a while, but we've sang on some of his records and performed with him at Pitchfork when he headlined, and he's wonderful, and he works with really great musicians all the time. So, and yeah, he's great. But I don't really talk to him very much because he's a superstar now.
That's all right. Tell him you'll meet him there. You'll get there.
Does he still live in Chicago?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And
And well, are we ready for Sima to give us a taste of
oh, absolutely. I can't wait. I was going to say Macy was wonderful when she performed, and you have been wonderful with this conversation and this interview. And now we want to hear you sing and play. So,
I think we're gonna do some piano and guitar, which I'm excited.
All right, I'm gonna have a little water, and I'm going to play the guitar first, I think. All right, I'm gonna play this song. I'm recording it and I'll release it soon, but it's called For Liam. It's a song that I wrote for my brother.
Yes. Liam is also a recording artist we'll have to have him on this show maybe one day.
You should. All the friends I've lost, acquaintances so meaningless. Honestly, I've nearly forgot all but a few. As the years go by, and I see you from time to time, silently we draw the lines from me to you. But I and I'd give one too. I've thought about it since the day when you came into my life. As we're growing up and moving on to different stuff, we've always known that life is tough and never fair. But through these veins of mine runs your blood, and you will find that as the world crumbles with time, that will stay true. But I would die for you. I'd take a bullet and I'd give one too. I've thought about it since the day when you came into my life. And I could spread myself thin, or I could really dig in, but at the end of my life, I hope I do it right. And I would die for you. I'd take a bullet and I'd give one too. I've thought about it since the day when you came into my life. Yes, I would die for you. Oh, but I hope that I won't have to. I hope we're happy, old and crazy when we both close our eyes. I hope we're happy, old and crazy when we both close our eyes.
Oh,
Oh my
Sima,
God.
that was lovely. That was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
That was so beautiful.
Oh, that was
Wonderful.
absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Lovely.
Beautiful,
Wow.
Sima. Wow.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Oh, I have to ask one more thing. So, Sima, when you compose on guitar or when you compose on keyboard,
Uh-huh.
do, does the idea stem from the instrument, or do you go to the instrument because you have an idea?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that, like, I definitely think that they inspire different sorts of melodies. Like, I think when I'm doing piano, I get a lot more busy with the accompaniment. And when I'm playing guitar, it's kind of, I just let the voice do whatever, lead the way. Um, so yeah, it sort of, uh, yeah, it depends. It depends, but I like writing on both. It was kind of nice picking up the guitar because I knew my way around it less, so it sort of forced me to stay simple and try and like let the song just ring out without trying to add too many chords or anything in between. So
Such a
That, that, that,
luxury to have that.
and that was
But
beautiful lyrically.
it's gorgeous.
I'd take a bullet and I'd give one too.
yeah.
How deep is that?
That's her brother. They are so tight. They are so tight.
Just
It's
gorgeous
beautiful.
lyrics. Gorgeous
Thank you.
lyrics.
Um, this next song that I'm going to sing, I wrote about a friend of mine who passed away when we were in high school together. And he was a really beautiful soul. And we knew each other through the choir, actually. We used to, um, and one of our favorite songs that we ever did was Leonard Bernstein's Chichester Psalms. So I saw a question, where can we hear that song again? It is not
Right.
recorded yet, but if you can join I have an email list. So if you would like to join my email list, maybe let the hosts know and send your email along. And my Bandcamp has some other songs, and I'll be releasing it there hopefully in the next couple months. So this
Absolutely.
next
And I was going to say, if anybody's interested and if they want the information, put their information in the chat. We'll keep the chat and we can follow up with those folks too.
great. Yeah, so this song, there's a piece of part of it that's inspired by Leonard Bernstein's Chichester Psalms. He's one of my favorite composers of all time. So, and I highly recommend listening to Chichester Psalms if you have never. So, is the balance okay? Can you hear me sing?
I
Okay,
can hear
Oh,
you
the
sing.
piano's a little loud.
piano's a little loud.
Well, she's on her iPad too, so
Yeah, I'll
there's
try
not a
not to
lot.
be hard on the
Yeah,
piano. Try and play
yeah.
soft.
Okay.
All right. I just want to put it out into the universe that you are missed so much. The feel of your sweaty palms and your funny take on songs. I really miss your touch. But love is in the nuances we know, and it's easy to imagine we're alone. I'll forgive your mother missing headstone. How she could have known she had a good son, but you made that call without a song. I can still remember your eyes coming out of your cashmere sweater. Oh, it got better. It did. You two running down the school, the boy of the ball with all the stories and vegan cheese on your bagel. Love is in the nuances we know, and it's easy to imagine we're alone, reaching for your ever hallelujah, thinking that you never find a true love, but you made that call without a song.
So beautiful, Sima.
Yes, Sima.
Oh, beautiful, Sima. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So much. Very
So
Absolutely.
beautiful. So
Oh,
beautiful.
very good.
Thank you for letting us pick your brain and ask you some personal questions.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Absolutely.
being great hosts and for having me and for being a great audience.
It's
Thank you
great.
so much, Seema.
Yes,
I was going to say now is the time that Sonia can post the tip screen if anybody wants to tip Seema.
yeah, there's Sima Cunningham at Bandcamp, so you'll see her stuff.
Yeah. Or
And
my PayPal is simacunningham@gmail.com.
Perfect. Seema, you were absolutely wonderful, and we certainly look forward to everything that's coming our way from you. And good luck with your latest album. There's still hope.
Yeah, no, I feel good. Feel
You can
good.
still do that tour as soon as this is all done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Sima, for
much.
joining us.
Please give a hand to
Sima
Seema.
Cunningham, half of Ohm Music and also Sima Cunningham solo. Yes.
Wow. First, first, that was really a nice segment.
Very
Uh,
nice.
this, this now leads us into our next featured composer. Uh, this is somebody who's been a friend of mine for 25, 27, 30 years, something like that. I don't know. But Tim Gant is a Grammy nominated producer, songwriter, bassist, and guitarist. And Tim, we'd like to welcome you to Composers Cafe.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
nice to have you on, Tim. So nice to meet you
Thank you.
too.
Thank you.
We are.
Actually, it's actually Paul who's the Grammy nominated guitarist and bassist.
Oh my goodness! Then you tell us who Tim Gant is.
My instrument is piano, keyboards, and I'm a songwriter, producer, artist, and performer as well. So you almost had it there.
That's called multitasking.
Hey, but you're connected with a lot of Grammy Award winning artists. That's for darn
And,
sure.
and didn't I start this by saying I've known him for 30 years? So you would think
You're like, he should have been an award winner.
we're all human. Please forgive me, Tim.
No problem.
Fantastic keyboardist, and I have known him for a very long time. And you're a musician, music director, songwriter, producer, and artist.
Hmm.
Um, and you've been doing this for 35 years or more.
Long time.
Can you tell us a little bit about your history and your career and how did
Well,
all this start?
I'm originally from Chicago, so love this place. Really don't want to live anyplace else.
Yes.
But I started out like a lot of musicians in basement bands, garage bands, um, and got lucky enough right after high school to join a group, local group here in Chicago. You might remember them called Grand Staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back in the day, they used to have what they called the Budweiser Showdown, which was a band competition that Anheuser-Busch sponsored, and they had more than 30,000 bands
Oh my gosh.
competing from all over the U.S. And make a long story short, we happened to win
Did you say 30,000?
30,000.
Oh my gosh. And that's how you got your start?
Well, that was one of the that band was one of the big launching pads for me. We won a contract with Warner Brothers.
Wow.
Got a chance to, we didn't get a chance to do a whole album, but we got a chance to do a single. Also, we won a bunch of equipment from Fender. We got an opportunity to perform on the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars out in Los Angeles. We did a bunch of Budweiser television commercials.
Wow, Tim.
Yeah, so that was that was a big deal.
Who was
Uh,
in that band with you?
Mark Ingram
Mm-hmm.
was the leader, and Orbit Davis
Mm-hmm.
was also the co-leader. Wonderful trumpet player, and Mark was vocalist and trombone
Wow.
So
player.
everybody was right out of high school?
No, everybody was. Uh, uh, that was me out of high school. Everybody, these guys were in it already. They were doing it, and they had they had established themselves pretty well already. And so this was just happened to be an opportunity that came up, and we were able to take advantage of it, full advantage of it. And then shortly after that, we got an invitation to go to Japan.
Wow.
And once we went to Japan, that was kind of my turning point. That's when I started to view everything differently.
How's that?
You know,
How's that?
uh, I always saw myself looking at the world from Chicago
Mm.
and thinking that if I could conquer Chicago, or if I could conquer just the U.S., that would make me successful. I had it. I could do it. Not realizing how big the world actually is, and you don't need to conquer the U.S.
Mm.
You can go and conquer a smaller country, and then you can conquer that smaller country, and then you can conquer that small. So I just got a chance to realize how big the world really is,
Mm-hmm.
and stop dreaming so small.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow. And you realized that at a pretty young age then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start songwriting?
Um, I've kind of always kind of created melodies and created chords, or groups of chords that I'd like to call my own.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really start seriously songwriting until I got into a band when I was about 17 or so, and this band was totally original. We didn't do any cover tunes at all. All we did was tunes that we wrote, or that the leader of the band wrote.
And what made you think that because who was your inspiration back then?
Well, I was at that time. I was just trying to be an accomplished musician. So I was listening to uh, people like George Duke, Herbie Hancock. Um, I was a big Spyro Gyra fan.
I
Um,
remember them.
Keyboard player from that group, Tom Schumann. Um, Ramsey Lewis. Grew up hearing him all the time in the house, his records. So that was kind of my go-to. That's what I was going for. But then as I started to play and meet different musicians and this and that, and happened to one day go to a rehearsal at a guy's house, and looked up on his wall, and he had this gold record on the wall, and I never seen a gold record before. And I was like, "Hey man, who's that?" He was like, "Oh, that's mine." It's like, "How did you get that?" He was like, "Well, I wrote that song." And I said, "What?"
Bing.
And he said, "Yeah, I wrote that song." I was like, "And so how many copies did the song sell for you to get that?" And he was like, "Well, it sold over 5,000, over 500 and 500,000." And I was like, "Man," I was like, "Tell me what I have to do to get one of those."
That was your aha moment.
And that person was Paul Richmond.
Oh my goodness.
Who I was introducing instead of you.
Uh huh.
Who we're gonna see? So stay
Who we're
tuned.
going to see soon.
Exactly.
But while you're here, I just want to look over on your wall there, just over your left shoulder.
Uh,
And what are those again? What you were just
so
talking about?
yeah, so I was so inspired that I started just chasing that thing, and I asked Paul a million questions, and he was really patient with me and just giving me, the information that he had, and so I started writing, and I'm not really a lyricist, but I can definitely hear lyrics, hear melodies, and put music to them. So I started collaborating with a lot of different writers. And one of the writers I collaborated with um, was a guy named Steve Grissett, who is a wonderful artist and songwriter. And he was even more hungry than I was, going after going after these, just trying to make something happen in writing and producing. And so he was always calling me, man, let's get together, let's write, let's get together, let's write, let's get to. And so we did. We kept doing it, and lo and behold, he landed a publishing deal with Columbia Records, and through that publishing deal, he was able to land one of our tunes with Regina Bell.
Oh, so
I was going to ask about that. So he landed the publishing deal,
Hmm.
and because you co-wrote,
Hmm.
you were folded into that opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't part of his deal,
Right.
but yeah, no, I was a writer on the song, um, and he also had collaborated with another gentleman on the song, a guy by the name of Tyrone Dickerson, who
Mm.
is another good friend of mine, wonderful keyboard player who resides down in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
it's a big giant step ladder. I mean, you get to this rung and you meet these people, and then you get to the next rung. It's like so fortunate to get on the first one, and then to be in a group of people that are with the same goals and the same ambition that you have.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
I don't think it's something somebody does alone. How do they do it alone? I mean, I don't think and no one intentionally means to be alone. I think the nature of music tends to bring people together. But
It does. I mean, I needed to bounce my ideas off of somebody else. Um, I don't trust myself uh, enough to just put it all together and at the end of the day think that it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good for me to have that other person there, and we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and kind of critique each other's ideas,
So,
constructively, of course, but critique each other's ideas and just make it better. Polish that piece of coal.
yeah,
Until
I think
until it
as I was
becomes a diamond.
asking Sima earlier, is like, is it the arrangement? Is it the song? Is it the singer? Is it the lyrics? I mean,
I think it's a combination. It's a combination. Sometimes you can have a great song and not have the right person to deliver it, and then there it sits.
yeah,
You know,
every
uh,
it's a little piece of the puzzle. The song is the whole puzzle, and then there's all those little components.
yeah, yeah.
and so, Tim, you like the collaborative process then? Have you ever written lyrics and music by yourself?
No, what I do with lyrics is that I'm good after the lyrics have been kind of written. I'm good with sitting back and kind of saying, no, not that phrase. Let's change that. Let's make that do something a little different. You know,
Okay. Okay.
let's find another way to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea. I like, the concept, but let's say it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And most of the times when I do that with a lyricist, they appreciate it. It's
They're receptive.
yeah,
Oh, that's the thing is too the magic of two people working together, or three people working together. It's total magic.
Oh, absolutely.
definitely, definitely.
And I just want to let our viewers and our audience know that Tim uh, is such a humble guy. He has been for all the years that I've known him. But when I tell you he's worked with Will Downing, Ramsey Lewis, Kirk Whalum, Dee Dee Bridgewater, CeCe Peniston, Ten City, Byron Stingley, Nick Coleone, In Vogue, Heather Headley, Philip Bailey, Vesta, Bill Withers, Art Porter, George Howard, and has produced and composed music for Regina Belle, the Backstreet Boys, Rick Braun, Bass X, Brian Culbertson, Richard Elliott, Kyle Turner, Kevin Whalum, Michael Manson, Tom Braxton, and George Howard, Jeff Golub, and Aretha Franklin.
Oh, and one more thing. So, early to talk about how humble Tim Gant is. The beginning of the show, we were talking about misspellings and his Tim Grant, and I'm like going, "Oh my God, Tim Grant is Tim Gant." And if you look up Tim Grant, you'll see he didn't even correct the spelling of his name. He's so humble. He's on everything.
He's on everything.
It's oh yes.
Tell us about all that, Tim.
Well, for whatever reason, some people like they they read Gant, but I don't know when they go to write it, they want to put an R there. I don't understand it, but it
You need to
happens
make
so
them
much.
understand.
It happens so much, and when when something's in mass production, like a record jacket or a CD jacket, once it's there, there's no recall
No,
on it.
because they've done
So
500,000 copies already.
right. So I would just make sure, call up the record company and make sure that they spell the name on my publishing company correct,
Mhm.
and then that made it all good. But yeah,
So the
It's
checks
a
would come.
lot though, Tim, because I was looking up Tim Gant songs and it kept coming up Tim Grant. And like a list of songs
Mhm.
came up with such famous people. I'm like going, oh my God, could that be?
Tell us
yeah.
about some of those experiences, Tim, working with some of the greats.
Um, Working with I just spent the last 12 years with Ramsey Lewis. What an experience traveling the world with him. Uh, a native Chicago guy, the guy actually who we were already connected through my mom,
Mhm.
who happened to be one of his sister's best friends growing up, and uh, that was just he's such a gentleman and such a wonderful guy. It was a big highlight of my career working with him. Um, and because I got a chance to work with him, he introduced me to Philip Bailey.
Mhm.
Wow.
Um, got a chance to work and record with him. He Ramsey also introduced me to Dee Dee Bridgewater because we were touring together, and yeah, that was if this thing doesn't get back to normal, and that just happens to be one of the last tours that I did, you know, I'm good. I'm satisfied with that. But yeah, working with, as you know, Art Porter was a local here.
Mhm.
He wasn't from Chicago, but
But
he
he
made
lived here.
Chicago his home.
Yeah.
And working with him from his freshman album, Pocket City, all the way until his untimely death,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But that was a great experience touring with him. We toured all over Europe. I mean, when I say all over Europe, all over Europe.
You really mean all over
Yeah,
Europe.
So
yeah.
when you toured with Ramsey, what did you play? Ramsey's a piano player. What did you play?
He's a piano player, so I play keyboards. So I do all of the colors. And when I say colors, so all of the other sounds, strings, horns, organ, um, everything, steel drum, whatever's needed. Keyboard can create basically emulate any sound out there, even the
Cool.
human voice. So yeah.
Very cool.
Unbelievable. And Nick Coleone, were you on tour with him?
Played with Nick for 12 years.
That's what I thought. I
And
remember that.
yeah, and his band as
Yeah.
well. But Nick and I actually came up um, on the same side of town. Both of us are West Siders, and we were actually sidemen together, working in playing for other artists
Wow.
at the time. So yeah, knew him from the beginning.
Yeah,
You
he
know.
he blew up during the time of the smooth jazz era.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing his career is really taking off. He's doing amazing. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's it and there's a story I could be on here forever. There's a story about every artist, you know. There really is. But I mean, all of the artists that I've worked with were really, really just genuine. And I really don't have a bad story about any of them. You
Mm.
know, I'll tell you one quick story about Bill Withers.
Yeah.
Um, Bill had a gig here in Chicago, and his schedule was so crazy that he had to actually come in 2 weeks before the gig, rehearse with us for a day, and then go back to LA, and then we wouldn't see him again until the actual gig.
Oh my gosh.
Well, when he got back, the day before he got back to do the gig, uh, my mom had a stroke.
Oh.
And so they told him, and uh, he didn't expect for me to be on the gig. So when he came in to the day before, he asked everybody. He was like, "Well, who's going to play?" You know, and everybody says, "No, man, Tim's going to play. He's still going to play." And Bill was like, "Huh?" He couldn't believe it. So he the next day when he saw me, he asked me. He said, "Man," he said, "Are you going? You happen to going? You going to see your mom to the hospital? You going to visit?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Would you mind coming by and picking me up?"
Oh my goodness.
So went by, picked him up, took him out there. He gave my mom like a dozen roses, and
Oh.
yeah, he was just the sweetest guy,
Oh,
you
that
know.
is so sweet.
Hmm.
That's a special story.
Yeah,
Really
definitely.
special
Yeah,
story.
I'll never forget him. He's a really great guy.
Oh my
Is that when he
gosh.
told you not to stress out and to have a no anxiety day as often as you can?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'll never. Be another thing I learned from him really quick was on stage we had a just first song was a train wreck. Just to count off, I don't know what happened. It didn't go the way it was supposed to go.
Mm.
And he just said, "Hold on, something wasn't right, but don't worry about it. We go get it right.
Oh,
Y'all, everybody good? Everybody with me? Everybody?" Ask the audience, "Y'all good? Can we try that again?" Of course, they were saying yeah. He just counted it off again. We hit it, had a seamless show.
no
And
That's
it,
stress, no
that's
fuss.
that's what I'm saying.
no,
That's a
no,
that's a
yeah,
beautiful
no
thing.
diva, no
No,
going up, no none of that. So I'm like, listen, if he can be that way, then
it's just
hey,
that simple, isn't it?
it
It's
really
just
is.
that simple. That's why I said we're all human, you
Yeah,
know. You just have to give room, make room for that.
yeah,
You've had a really impressive career. You've got your is that two gold records, right?
yeah. One is Regina Bell, um, and both these are gold, but both of these have gone platinum.
Oh,
Oh my
nice,
goodness.
Yeah.
nice.
Congratulations.
And
Um,
what were the names of those songs
uh,
or
the Regina
albums?
Bell tune is called "Quiet Time."
Hmm.
It's on the Passion album, which was a tune that was like really, really. What was the big tune?
I know. If I could. It's on
If
the
I
If I
could,
Could.
Yeah, if I could, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on that album.
And I think A Whole New World might be on that album too,
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you
from the
go.
Aladdin movie.
What's
Uh,
the
Ah,
other gold? What's the other gold one?
the other one is Aretha
Or platinum?
Franklin.
Sure, sorry.
The
Aretha
other one is
Franklin.
Aretha Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on the Rose is Still a Rose album. The that album that she did with Lauryn Hill,
Oh, nice.
the tune, yeah. Um, and that tune I co-wrote with my partner Michael Gray at the time, who we had a production company,
Oh, nice.
and then he and I co-wrote that song with another musician, a Chicago favorite, Bill Dickens,
Okay.
who is Bill is actually a world famous bass player
Wow.
as well, and yeah, so we that's a Chicago connection.
and what was the name of that song?
The name of that song is "In Case You Forgot."
And
And Sammy, just so you know, we're going to hear both of those songs in a few
oh,
minutes.
good. I just so when you choose your co-writers, or do your co-writers choose you, or do you produce anything that somebody sends to you?
Well, I mean, I do this for a living, so there have been many occasions where someone has come to me and just hired me to produce whatever it is that they have. A lot of times we'll end up kind of going in and changing some things around to again to polish it, and but then a lot of times when I had the production company, I mean that's all we did. We just we forced ourselves to write,
Mm-hmm.
because when you have a production company like that, you may send out 5 or 10 tunes, you know, uh, a month, trying to get them placed,
So
trying to get them with artists.
that's two questions I have on my page here. One is how do you get your songs to the singer,
Hmm.
which and then I'll just give them both to you in case they connect in some way. And do you like to be in the studio when other people are recording your songs?
Um, Basically, how we were able to get, or the people who I work with were able to get the songs to the artists. I think I mentioned that Steve Brissett was uh, a Columbia writer already.
So he
Mm-hmm.
had his connection.
So he was somewhat tied in. Their job is to find songs. When you have a record company, you have an A&R person whose their job is to find songs for their artists. So the first thing you do is you look in your own house. You don't go outside your house, right? Unless you just have to. So they looked in their house. Steve was in the house. So that's how that one was placed. Um, the Aretha Franklin song was placed because my partner and I, were working with another production company, and they had a direct line to uh, Clive Davis.
Oh, wow.
And when you have somebody's ear like that, especially somebody as powerful as Clive, um,
Absolutely.
you want to put your best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were smart. They were like, look, we have songs, but because they are songs, doesn't mean they're the best songs. So we should look around and try to get the best songs when we have our meeting with Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. So they came around and they went to different production houses and kind of cherry picked songs. And it happened to cherry pick this one and played it for Clyde. And he loved it.
That's incredible. And I think Clive Davis signed Aretha Franklin later in her career, from
Hmm.
what I understand. That was not a long uh,
Yeah,
standing
much,
deal
much
between the
later.
two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And then
then
with oh, go ahead. What were you going
I
to
was
say?
going to say, and then with the Backstreet Boys, um, which my partner and I, Michael Gray, again co-wrote this tune together. This tune got heard by Wayne Williams
Oh,
from
Chicago.
Jive Records,
Chicago.
and
Jive Records.
we were in the same building.
Yeah.
Our office, production office, was right down the street, and Wayne's uh, office was right down. I mean, right down the hall. And Wayne's office was right down the hall from us. So he heard what we were doing all the time, and
Is he
he
still
heard that
is
too.
he still A&R for Jive?
I think he is.
That's been a long,
Well,
long
actually,
time.
he's probably much higher now. He's probably
Wow.
a lot
I
bigger.
mean, but he's still with Jive. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
he's
that.
definitely still with Jive.
That's been a long time.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us about your production, or is it your production or publishing company?
Production. Production,
Are
yeah.
you still working that the way you
I'm
used
still
to?
working it. I'm working it more so by myself now.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I don't, I still don't, I still co-write with
Mm-hmm.
others, but as far as the production of it
Mm-hmm.
is concerned, putting the music together, recording the vocals, producing the vocals, all that, I do all of that now
You're
myself.
doing that.
hmm
So
Wow.
people just send you stuff at random, or they contact you first because they want
Most
to
of the
support?
times they contact me, they're in need of of a producer, and and with everything being independent right now, you don't necessarily need a record company or a big force like that to do it. Everybody is funding themselves, and
You just have to have your own deep pockets.
yeah, and right at this particular time, they don't even have to be that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff can be done at home. This is true.
Yeah.
And Tim, do you ever use like sites like Bandcamp, or do you ever put songs on iTunes, or are you doing the independent thing, or are you still doing most of what you're doing through the major labels or publishing houses?
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't really graduated to the new school way of doing things. I'm getting there.
Sure.
I'm getting there because yeah, that's pretty much the way to do it.
Yeah.
For now, yeah. The business that when I got these, the business that did that doesn't really exist anymore.
Right. This is the re-education of the music business,
Yeah,
basically.
Oh my God, right? So,
Yeah.
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 yeah. I don't. You're not going to see these nowhere near as often as you would. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So you're adjusting accordingly.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah. You're trying. Well, I would, oh, first, before we move on to your music, do you want to talk a little bit about the concert, the benefit that you are doing, or any projects that you might have coming up?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm an artist. I started my group, Tim Gant Project, about 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and I'm working on some music to be released um, before before March.
And where will
Um,
that be released?
I'm going to do that independently. I'm going to do that independently. I'm just going to release it, just like we were just talking about, to to iTunes and some other entities, CD Baby and things of that sort.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because right now it doesn't make a lot of sense to be to hitch my wagon to some huge company.
The
That
majors?
Yeah, I mean, even if they were even interested, you know,
Yeah.
um, if they become interested after the fact, great. But yeah, I'm not going to wait on that one.
You're not going to wait. And do you still have your independent publishing? Do you
Yes,
still have
yeah,
your publishing?
still
So,
have my
so you're good to go.
tag art music.
Tag Art Music.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat was asking if they could send you music,
Oh, sure,
send you a song. That's what they're asking.
sure.
All right, so that's your answer, Maisha. Um, and did you want to talk about the benefit concert at all, or do you have information yet?
So a very good friend of mine named Jason Grant, who's actually he and I toured together with Nick with Nick Coleon.
Uh-huh.
Uh, he put together a concert the other day that we did virtual,
Uh-huh.
and the main point of the concert was just to try to bring a little musical joy to these weird times that we're having, and also try to raise a little money for those unfortunate, less fortunate than us. So uh, we it was about 8 bands that came together, and he recorded. We all did 2, 3 songs each, and he put it together, and it's going to air Thursday, Thanksgiving, at 7 p.m. Uh, on his page, which is Jason Grant and the J. Grant Experience. Now, his last name is actually Grant.
Not to be confused with
Yeah.
Tim Gant,
Yeah, right.
Gant.
Uh-huh.
That is wonderful. And we'll ask after you're done with this segment that you put a website or something in the chat so that anybody that wants to
Yeah,
watch.
it's just going to be on his Facebook page. So if you go to Jason Grant and the J Grant Experience on Facebook, you'll find it.
Okay,
Hmm.
very good. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew that that was something that was coming up. And we are going to
Here's something, I hope.
we're going to hear a couple of songs that Tim Gant, keyboardist, wrote. And Tim, which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the tune that I wrote for Aretha, in case you forgot.
Okay,
This
so
is
in
lyrics.
case,
Is this lyrics and melody?
This is so I can't. Again, I'm not a singer, so
But did you write the lyrics and the melody?
I did not write the lyric
Okay.
melody. My partner, Michael Gray, did.
Okay. Cool.
and my niece Brandy Yulian is going to
Awesome.
sing while Tim plays. And so,
Awesome. I love
Sonia,
Brandy.
Hi.
hi, Brand. If
Hey,
Sonia
Brandy.
Hello,
can
Tim.
if Sonia can pin Brandy so everybody can see her while she sings with Tim Gant. Hi, Brand.
Oh, Brandy, you
Hi.
look beautiful.
You look so cute.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Let me know when you're ready, Tim.
Ready?
Tuning in
Ready?
from New York City.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Here we go. Something is wrong, babe. It's a feeling gone, baby. Maybe I need to refresh your mind. Think about the love we shared. Think back to the time we cared. Maybe you can find a reason to be here. Oh, I'm the one who loved you. I'm the one who made it right. I'm the one who was there for you on those cold and lonely nights. Oh, I'm the one who held you when the world came down on you. And I'm the one who's in love with you, and whose love never stops. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love is so good. In case you forgot, I wasn't there when you felt, 'cause I care. In case you forgot, I left you satisfied all those nights. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love never stops. Oh, where did mine go? Never ever should let you know you're about to make a big mistake. Now where do you think you find a love that all I mind? Maybe all you're gonna find is heartache. Whoa, I'm the one who held you. those cold, lonely nights. And I am the one who held you when the world came down on you. And I'm the one who was there for you. And his love never stops. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love is so good. In case you forgot, I wasn't there when you felt those I care. In case you forgot, I let you satisfy all those nights. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love never stops. Where will you go to find someone to love you like I do? You can play anything, baby, 'cause you know it's true. Sometimes a love like mine comes just once in your life. So you better take it, baby, and you hold on tight. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love is so good. In case you forgot, I was there when you felt, 'cause I care. In case you forgot, I love you satisfied all those nights. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love never stops. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love is so good. In case you forgot, I was there when you felt, 'cause I care. In case you forgot, I left you satisfied all those nights. In case you forgot, I give love, and my love never stops.
What, Brandy?
Wow,
That's
Lynn.
a
Wow.
Oh, oh,
absolutely
yes.
beautiful.
Wow.
What
Wow,
is
wow, wow,
really
wow,
the
wow.
answer? The egg,
Amazing,
or
Brandy.
is it the
Beautiful,
chicken or the
beautiful
egg?
song,
I think it's
beautiful
both.
singing.
Oh my gosh, you guys,
Amazing.
and just so you guys know,
Beautiful.
they met via phone 2 days ago. So
Oh my gosh.
this really worked out well. Beautiful, you
So
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
hey, thank you
that's
so
the
Beautiful
much
answer
for
to the
job.
having me, guys.
question. Is it the chicken or the egg? The song or the lyrics for the singer? I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, oh my God, the song was the singer. Yeah, which one? I don't know. It's
Oh
fabulous.
my gosh.
So fabulous.
Tim
Thank
Gant,
you.
wonderful song. Brandy, my niece, I am so proud of you.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
job. And I'm so glad that you guys were able to do that together.
Me too.
Beautiful job.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
so
Too.
nice.
much.
Thanks for
Thank
You
coming
you.
are
on.
outstanding. Thank you. And thanks,
Thanks, thanks.
Sammy and Auntie
Thank,
Lynn.
thank you, honey. Thank
So
you.
Thank
nice.
you.
Okay, well, Tim has another song for us.
Oh, awesome.
And I believe he's going to do this one with Sembra.
Yes,
So can you introduce her to me?
I sure can. Simbrid Whittington Dortch is a wonderful friend. She's really like family. Um,
Aw.
and we've been performing together. Wow, long time now. I guess when I met Sim, she was a little girl. Little girl. She was about all maybe 19, I think, and
Yeah.
we played Tom Joyner's wedding in
Oh,
Jamaica
beautiful.
together.
I love
Yeah,
that.
she was in the house band, one of the singers, and I was one of the keyboard players. It was a great time. We played behind Charlie Wilson and Gladys Knight,
Yep.
Oh
and
my
and
goodness.
uh,
What an
and
amazing
oh,
opportunity.
and the amazing Bootsy Collins. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
how could
not
I
Bootsy
forget that?
Collins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hearing.
yeah.
Oh, Sembra, it's so nice to meet you. Welcome to Composers Cafe.
Thank
And
you. Nice to meet you too. And what a wonderful job you all are doing. I've been enjoying, and especially since my brother is on.
oh, well,
Fantastic. Thank you all for providing such an awesome platform.
thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to hear you
Can't wait to
sing.
hear.
Absolutely. Tim, take it
All
away.
righty, you ready, Sim?
I'm ready. You want to count it
All right.
off? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'll turn off the phone and pull the shade. You won't be disturbed tonight. Waited all day long to spend some time. Just my man and I. If we just leave the world outside, we can fall in love once again tonight. Lovers need to share the quiet. I know we still need the quiet. We can celebrate this special time, and we don't need no company. We'll just set the mood with conversation. Don't need nobody else but you. We'll learn to leave the world outside and fall in love with
Hey, Tim,
Mm-hmm.
Can you check your cables?
we're gonna stop you for a second.
Something. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. I'm
The
so
sound
sorry.
was, yeah, the sound quality was good with Brandy, but all of a sudden we're hearing a lot of knocking and not a
We're
lot
not
of
hearing the
music.
piano.
Yeah, not a lot of music.
I don't know. Did a cable get jostled?
We just didn't want you to go through the entire song without being able to hear you
Not
guys.
you, Simbrit. It was the piano.
Okay,
The
so
piano wasn't coming through.
and I can pull back a little bit more. So
I
yeah,
know it was different. I had the same thing happen to my piano, where all we hear is him hitting the keys, but not hearing the notes.
oh, that's so
And
weird.
I think, for me, the problem was, it was a cable.
Okay, so
And so
Tim,
if you could check your piano cable connections.
okay, so I'll just kind of maybe pull back just a bit. And you
Yeah.
turn
No, it's not you, Simbrit.
Well, she did overshadow, so maybe just a
Yeah,
little.
there was
Yeah,
no piano. All I could hear was the clicking of the keys.
yeah,
Okay,
I could hear him hitting the keys, but I could not hear the notes.
yeah.
So for me, I don't know if he could just check his connections.
sure. Okay, Tim, you want to try it again?
Oh, Russ still is saying she needs to have headphones. Her voice is canceling out the piano.
I was
Um,
going to say,
I don't know because I could still hear him clicking the keys.
yeah, I could hear it like the banging.
So I'm just saying, I had the same problem last week with my piano, and it was a cable issue.
Okay, so Tim, if you're ready, let's give this a try again, and then you all can tell us whether
Yeah,
or not how we need
yeah,
to adjust.
that's
Tim,
that's good.
may I make a quick suggestion before you continue, though?
Of course, honey.
So, Simber, do you have your original sound that says turn off OFF original sound?
would that be in my Zoom settings?
Are you
Yes,
on a
on
phone?
your
Are you on your phone or a
actual,
laptop?
Okay, let me check and
because
see.
to me it sounded like her original sound was not on.
So, Sembra, you don't have to go into settings if you're on a computer. Just look at the top left-hand corner of your screen and see if it says turn off original sound.
Okay, I'm actually an iPhone.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
she has
okay.
the settings.
So she doesn't have the settings on
But
that. Okay.
if
The iPhone does have a way to go on and turn on original sound.
Oh, see, I don't know that.
If
Okay.
you go on your iPhone, if you go to the Zoom settings on your iPhone, under
Okay,
settings, look
okay,
for what would say original sound, and that should be on.
Oh, and I don't have that. I see microphone, camera. I don't have that particular setting to change. Oh, that's
Oh.
weird. Okay. Well,
Or if you can get on a laptop real quick.
I don't think it's Simbrick. It's
Yeah, I think
him.
it was
Okay.
the
okay.
connection
Oh,
with him.
Tim,
'Cause we
I
heard
hear
Simbrick.
Simbrick very well.
let's try it. Let's try it again and see if this is a little bit better. Tim, you ready?
And Tim's muted right now.
Uh-oh.
Tim
Tim?
is muted right now. Can you give us a sound check on your keyboard?
There we
hear me
go.
now?
There we go. Yep.
Okay. Can you play a little bit on your piano?
Yeah, I'm not hearing anybody.
Oh, not even me?
What did you adjust, Tim? Because we can hear you.
Chat with him.
Okay.
This is the same. My piano did the same thing last week, where all you could hear was me attacking the keys, but you could not hear me playing.
That's odd.
Tim, can you hear?
Tim, can you hear us? Doesn't seem like he can, huh?
Oh, that's odd.
Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Can you play something on your piano, Tim?
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Now, you know what? I think you're talking to Lynn on the
I
phone.
can't
so-
on the Zoom. I can't hear anybody on the Zoom.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I've asked him to log off and log back on,
Good idea.
and we'll see if that makes a difference. Sembra, you were sounding really, really good.
Oh, bless you.
Really beautiful.
It's a beautiful song. I had a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun to sing. I love Regina Bell, first of all. And
Absolutely.
amazing composer. He's he's one of the best. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he is. Let's see if he's coming back in. Don't we love technology, everybody? Just here he is.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely. Can
Can
you
you hear
hear
me now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me
I
now?
hear you talking. Can we hear you playing? I want to hear if you can play.
Let's see here.
So that was good. At least we can hear you. And you can hear us.
Try your piano, Tim.
Okay.
Okay. Get
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, piano's
Let's-
working now.
Yep. Let's give it a shot. And Tim, before you move forward, make sure it says turn off original sound
Okay.
at the top left of your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Just click it to make sure it says turn off original sound.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, let's give it a try.
Okay.
take two. Okay, you ready, Tim? All right.
It's
Yeah.
better we hear you than not hear you. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that? Is it coming through?
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'll turn off the phone and pull the shades. We won't be disturbed tonight. Waited all day long to spend some time. Just my man and I. If we just leave the world outside, we can fall in love each and every night. Lovers need to share some time. Yeah. I know we still need the quiet time. can celebrate this special time, and we don't need no company. We'll just set the mood with conversation. Don't need nobody else but you. We'll learn to leave the world outside, and we'll fall in love each and every night. Lovers need to share the quiet time. We need some, yeah. I know we still need the quiet time. Oh, here is the chance to rediscover all the love that we shared when we met, to relight the flames of love. We still need time alone. Lovers need to share the quiet time. Oh, I know we still need the quiet time. Lovers need to share the quiet time. We need some, I know we still need the quiet time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Thanks for fixing that. That was really awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome, Tim.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Absolutely
job.
beautiful.
Very
Beautiful
beautiful.
job, Simbra. You were amazing. Tim, the song is absolutely outstanding.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both songs, fantastic. Very good.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely. Happy to have you. And Sonia, if you could highlight the tip screen in case anybody wants to send tips to Tim Gant. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being on the show,
so
Tim.
much, Lynn.
Thank you, Tim, so much.
Very nice.
Thank
I'm
you
so
much.
happy you're here. I appreciate it. And now I can just do that same introduction I did last time.
Only this time, yeah, I got the name spelled right.
Only this time I have, you got the name spelled right. I've got the right person in front of me. Okay, so Sonia, if you could highlight Paul Richmond, thank you so much. Thank you, Sonia, for all your help tonight. Paul Richmond, welcome to the Composers Cafe. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Paul. You're muted. You might want to unmute, Paul.
Muted. We can't hear you yet.
Yeah,
I can. Oh, there you go.
How about now?
There you go. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
How are you?
Happy Saturday
Pretty
night.
good. Pretty good.
Very good. We're very fortunate because Tim Gant tells me that you are his mentor.
And he's mine as well.
I have to do this intro that I did for Tim. So Paul Richmond is a Grammy-nominated producer, songwriter, bassist, and guitarist. We are so blessed to have you with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career?
Okay, where do I start? My career spans over maybe 40 years. My mom taught me how to play guitar when I was a teen when he taught it. My first professional job was with the Five Stair Steps. Then I went on to play for a group called the Independents. And then I went on to play for a group called the Impressions. And then I joined a guy by the name of Tyrone Davis. And I worked with various producers and engineers and things. And I learned a lot of things about the studio and music. I worked with James Mack. And then I started my own band called Amusement Park back in the early '80s.
Wow.
So, Paul, are you from? These are all bands out of Chicago.
Yeah, yep. Out of Chicago.
I'm not from Chicago, so I don't know. I recognize some of them, but not all of them.
Yeah, well, the Impressions, Curtis Mayfield,
Of
Chicago,
course, I know them. Yeah.
Tyrone Davis, Chicago. So pretty much everybody was from Chicago. And I'm like Tim. I'm from the west side of Chicago, and we kind of grew up in the same circles. And to be honest, I wasn't a songwriter at first, but I kind of hung around in the circles of songwriters, and I think it's like the environment that you hang out in. Sometimes it rubs off on you, Because, initially I was probably anything but a songwriter, I was anything but a producer, anything but an engineer. All the things I became, I was nowhere near being that when I first started. I was something. I evolved into who I am now.
So, how old were you when you wrote your first song? Then,
my first hit song or my first NEO song?
just your first song. First song.
Maybe 11.
Oh, well, that makes you a songwriter.
You wrote your first song at 11?
Somewhere between 11 and 12. It was almost like a little joke.
Yeah.
It was,
Okay.
it was a song about a frog or something. A frog was hopping around. Somebody took his legs and they ate him or something. But that was my first song.
How old were you with your first hit song?
My first hit song was with Tyrone Davis, and I must have been in the neighborhood of my early or late 20s. So 24, 25, I believe. And
when did you get your big break?
I got my big break it started in '78 when I wrote the big song for Tyrone Davis. It was one of his biggest songs. And the people, the record company that he was with also had the Manhattans on the same company. And the Manhattans had contacted Tyrone Davis' producer and said, well, can you give us a song like the big song you just had on Tyrone Davis for the Manhattans? And so my producer, being the businessman that he was, he said, we already got a song just like that in the can. If you give us this account, we'll let you use our song. The song did not exist, though.
I was going to say, that was too easy. It just fell in place too easy.
It was no song, but he had to hold it down because they were on the lookout for material, and if he didn't say that at that precise moment, they would have went on to the next producers, the next songwriters, and we would have missed out.
Yeah.
So he calls me up early the next morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you got to get up and get over to my house. We got to write this song that we don't have. I said, what are you talking about? He said, we need to come up with a song just like in the mood for the Manhattans. I said, Leo, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I partied all night. I don't have a song in me right now. He said, well, you better get one because you don't yeah.
Because he's made a commitment.
He made a commitment.
But you had the talent. You had the talent. You had the tools.
Had the tools, had the talent. I mean, I'd gotten real prolific by that time because I'd hung around a lot of other songwriters. Like I said, it rubs off on you. You become just like your environment. That's why you should always be in a good environment because a bad environment has the same effect.
Oh,
but
so true.
I was hanging around a lot of singers, a lot of producers, songwriters, and it rubbed off on me. And so I give praise to God and them more so than myself because, again, it wasn't in me at first.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right, and the right people and everything. And so we get to writing this song, and lo and behold, brain block. I don't know, when you're writing a song, you're trying too hard, you can't get anything. So I was about to pack up. I said, well, Leo, I'm not feeling it right now. Let's come back tomorrow. I said, I don't hear nothing. So I was doodling on my guitar. I said, that's the song right there. I said, no, that's not it. I said, that's a country western song. And here's what I get. This is one of my guitar exercises, but not a song. At least it wasn't then.
I like that.
but it was not a song at this time. He said, okay, that's the song we're going with. So I said, well, it don't sound nothing like In the Mood for Tyrone Davis. This is like kind of a country western kind of feel. He said, we're going to build a song around that. Whatever you want to do, let's make this the song. And so he drove that point home, drove it. And so maybe 30 minutes later, there it was, the song, you know. And I don't know if they had FedEx back then or a way to move the mail, but I guess express mail maybe, but he express mail this cassette version. We didn't have CDs. CDs didn't exist yet. He sent them this cassette version, which probably sounded really awful because I was trying to sing at 7 in the morning and I didn't have no voice. I was like, but he sent this hideous sounding voice of me singing the song to the Manhattans, and they were on a plane here like within like 4 or 5 days. They were here. They loved the song. It's as awful as it might have sounded. They loved it, and they were in the studio recording that song within that week. And
it was just meant to be.
It was just meant to be, you know. It was, and I had little or nothing to do with it. It was like God took it and just ran with it. I said, okay, God, where you want to go, I'm going with you, you know. And it just kept, and they had a manager, a lady by the name of Hermie. This is what really amazed me. They had a lady manager named Hermie, and she said, this is going to be a #1 or at least a #3 pop hit. I'm like, how can you know that? I mean, we just finished laying, I guess you would call it scratch vocal. It wasn't even the permanent vocal. She predicted it would be what it was before it was much of anything. I said, okay, well, I'm going with that too. I mean, it sounds good to me. And within 2 or 3 months, her prediction was right on point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that was her gift. She could just hear the hit inside the rough mix.
She heard it. She sure did hear it because she was the one that was pushing to make this thing happen expediently. You know, again, I was just kind of just going with the flow. You know, I really wasn't even excited about the song.
Who produced it then and arranged it?
A guy by the name of Leo Graham, who did all the productions on Tyrone Davis, and he also produced this group called Champagne, who had a song called How About Us. So he had produced those 2 records, and then Manhattans wanted to do, you know, this song, but he was the producer. And James Mack was the arranger, well-known arranger and composer. And everything just kind of, the universe lined up, everything just came together, and it just happened, you know.
I think that is the magic. The universe does line up. It's just all the right people in the right places, you know, the right producer, the right arranger, the right song, the right singer, right guitar player.
But it was also the right going for it. Because had his friend not said,
It's
oh, yeah,
all of it.
we've got that, you know, without having anything. And then you actually composed that based on a guitar exercise?
Yeah.
So you just took what you were familiar with and just ran with it, basically.
Magic.
I really wasn't running with it. I was being encouraged. I was encouraged by him to use it. You know, I said, well, Leo, you hear me play this. I've been playing this little guitar exercise for the last 2 or 3 years. You know, it's not like a new thing, you know. And he said, well, we're going to make that the song.
Well, he liked it. He liked it.
Kind of followed his lead type thing. And he led me in that direction. I said, okay, I'm going to do it, you know. And,
Wow.
And he and I collaborated, you know, 50-50. And in some collaborations, you don't like what your collaborator is giving you. You said, well, I don't like that bass part. He said, well, this is the bass part we're going to use. I said, I want a hipper bass part. No, this is the bass part. And I said, well, I don't like those words right there. Well, we're going to use these words.
Oh, well, we were talking about that earlier. It's like, yeah, how do you co-write songs and come up, you know, like with an agreeable tune with everybody?
Well, you have people who are really collaborating. You have some people who are strong arms. I was strong arm.
Right.
You play this bass,
Right.
even though you don't like it, and you go sing these lyrics at this point, even though you're not crazy about it. I said, okay. So what I do is I put things in the song that I liked. So I put the hook. I said, well, honey, you are my shining star.
Oh, yeah, the hook is everything, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I was happy with that. I said, as long as I got that, I don't care what the lyrics say. You know, that's the song to me. And so once I did that, everything started to kind of fall in place, and I started to like the bass line that he came up with, but that wasn't my bass line, just for the record. And so and it came together, you know. And after a while, as he said, the rest is history, and I learned to love that bass line that I hated at first.
But don't you find that it is it's give and take, and it's learning how to say, all right, that's not so important to me, so I'll pass on that, or I'll go along with it, or this I'm adamant about, or my solution is always, okay, if you don't like this and the other person does, do two versions. Just do two versions of the song and see what happens.
Sometimes you don't know what you like until you know what you don't like.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I was compromising. I really, I wasn't really firm on my position. I didn't like the bass line. I said, it's okay, but it's not me. That was my thing. It's not me. I'm more of a more progressive, funkier kind of guy. This is kind of too simple for me. So, but he forced it. He pushed it. I'm glad he did, because now it's a platinum selling record. So just that bass line that I didn't like, that helped it along the way.
So you do write some lyrics then?
Again,
or no?
I write lyrics, I write music, I come up with parts, I come up with hooks. I mean, there was a guitar part on a group called the Independents that I created to open the song up. It opens like a and that was like one of the biggest parts of the song. So
As soon as it came on, people knew it.
They knew it, and that was my part. I didn't get no copyright for the song. I just came up with the part because that's what I felt at the moment, and it became an integral part of that song, And then other things like this song called "In the Mood," I played like a guitar part and a bass part. So I played two parts on that song, and it became a big record, So I played those. Then I wrote the hook and all of the first verse. So I'm kind of like everywhere. I'm playing the guitar parts, bass parts, hooks, coming up with changes, bridges, and all that. And then sometimes I just write just the music and somebody else do the lyrics. So it depends on the circumstances and the writers and the collaborators in the room. So I'm not like I'm the lyric guy or I'm the composition guy. I'm a chameleon.
There you go.
I'm going to take on the shape that I need to take on to make the song get to where it has to go.
Yeah.
So whatever that is,
And do you just know that now because you rely on your instincts? Because certainly you've honed your skill, right? Your skills over the years. So you just know, when something doesn't sit well or sit right with you.
Yeah.
And then you just do what like Tim was referring to, this needs to be polished or polishing.
Same. I do that too. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. I do the same thing. This needs work. That needs work. So I've done that same position on the song. But to me, the song dictates to me what I need to do if I'm collaborating. If somebody comes in here, like I got a part of a song that is not finished. What could you do to take this song to the next level? And what I do is I'll analyze all the weak points of the song, and then I'll try and strengthen it. So if it has a weak hook or a weak verse, or the music has some changes in it that need to be adjusted, I home in on whatever is weak on that song that can be strengthened. And then that's how I work it from that angle if I'm collaborating with somebody who's already started the song off. Just my opinion.
Wow.
So Paul, when you're when you're not writing music, what is your guilty pleasure? What do you listen to?
Music wise?
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. There's a couple other Prince. A lot of the rock and roll guitar guys. I like Eddie Van Halen. A lot of guitar players and bass players, Jaco Pastorius, Bill Dickens, just again, just a list of guitar players. Santana, I love me some Santana, and so on and so. But guitar and bass players.
Those are your
Oh,
favorite.
the guy from Chicago, Pete Cetera.
Oh, Peter Cetera.
I
Yeah.
love him forever.
He makes some good music, doesn't he?
He is so cool. Yeah, he's cool.
It says here you opened for acts like Tina Turner, Boy George, the Culture Club, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Grace Jones, the Pointer Sisters, Peebo Bryson. How did all that happen? Tell us about all of that.
Oh, I can give you a few stories. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the Grace Jones story. So we're playing a club up on the north side of Chicago, a small little club. I can't think of the name of it, but Park West Club. And so we got there and we were opening up for her. And her thing is she goes out into the audience and she slaps people. I mean, she really slaps them, So,
ouch.
Grace Jones did?
Yeah. And our manager thought it was a prank. He didn't think she really slapped people for real. He thought it was like a setup where she have a person that know they're gonna get slapped and they sitting there and they prepare for this slap. So he's sitting there thinking that, and all of a sudden she walks up to him and slaps the mess out of him. And we're like, Greg, it was real. It was not a prank. And he said, yep, because my face is still throbbing. That's the Grace Jones story. We were up in Milwaukee and we opened up. They used to have a thing called Milwaukee Fest or whatever. And Tina Turner just had a big breakup with Ike Turner, and she was kind of trying to make her way on her own. And so we opened up for her, and we had a conversation with her, and we said, one day we'll do another show again, and we'll both be in a better place. Because she was trying to move her career up, and we were trying to move ours up. And so the next time we saw her, we was at the Holiday Star. And so we were doing the Holiday Star with her, and then she kind of remembered us from that conversation, And then tied into that, my wife was in the behind the stage, and she has a real tight security. Her security is like security that guards the president. They don't play. You can't get up on Tina Turner. And my wife was kind of walking around trying to get a good position on the back of the stage, and her whole security came and surrounded her like they were gonna beat her down. And then Tina walks up and she showing, back up, she's a friend, leave her alone. But my wife was like scared out of her mind because she had about 3 or 4 football players charging at her time. Like, what are you doing back here? You gotta go. And she's like, whoa, I'm just here with my husband in the band, But Tina, like I said, she's a real down-to-earth person, real sweet person. And that was the last time we performed with her, but that was when she was on her way all the way to the top with the What Love Got to Do with It album. And,
right, yeah.
I guess my last story is Boy George and Culture Club. So we were at what used to be called the Rosemont Horizon, and I had my band called Amusement Park. We just had a big hit locally called No, and we were doing real well in this area. But we had never played an arena with that many people at any time. Our biggest crowd might have been 7,000, 8,000 people. This was like about double that. This is about maybe 15,000 screaming teenage girls, and they were going nuts. Anything we did, they was going crazy over. So we performed our song and we did it well. We did, we got just as much excitement from the audience as Culture Club did, and that crowd, we were actually not really that known to them because it was more of a pop crowd. We were more of like a crossover crowd, but we had already established a good potential future market by doing that. Like I said, but then the group broke up about 2 months later.
Oh no!
End of story.
Why?
Internal conflict, stuff that bands and groups would do all the time, but we had like a little internal conflict,
It's like being married to 5 people.
Yeah, we all had to get a divorce,
Oh my gosh!
But we started out real close friends and family, and we were like brothers, and then little by little, we started getting, more distance from each other, and folks weren't calling each other like they had been calling, and we weren't doing family gatherings like we had been going, and after a while, it just kind of took its toll. The group just disbanded, like I said, about 2 months after that big show with Culture Club. I'm
Mm.
like, man, we were on our way.
You were almost there.
Was almost there. Even in the radio venue, we were competing with Prince. Prince had done his Purple Rain movie, and he was really hot. But on the local radio stations, we had surpassed him. So he was like number one for 2 or 3 weeks. After about 2 or 3 weeks, we flipped it. We were number one, and he was in opposition.
Mm.
So things like that, so that's how that went. And through it all, I continued to write. But when the group broke up, I actually lost a little bit of my creative momentum because I think I must have went into like a mild depression or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had the breakup. So, but I'm back now.
See there.
Right.
You guys never had a reunion or anything?
Actually, we did. We got back together, and everybody that was mad at each other was no longer mad and everything. And we all it was just like, we did a couple concerts together. We did some reunion concerts, and it went we were a little rusty, but they went okay, But at the end of the day, everybody was on an up note. Nobody was angry at anybody anymore,
Good.
Just a temporary little phase that we went through,
Yeah. Yeah. Part of the evolution, right?
Yeah, the evolution continued.
Wow. So Tyrone Davis, Champagne, The Impressions, The Five Stair Steps, The Shy Lights. And you've got a lot of hits here.
Well, I'm currently with the Shies right now.
You're with the Shy Lights.
I'm their guitar player, one of their guitar players.
Wow.
I just joined back up with them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you wrote something for Jerry Butler?
No, actually, I played bass on a song for Jerry Butler called,
Okay.
I think it's Tell Me Where It Hurts. It's my
Wow.
only Jerry Butler song I ever played, but I played bass on that song called Tell Me Where It Hurts.
Wow. What an impressive career, and you're still going.
Still going, still trying to remain the word relevant. I don't want
Yeah.
to put ill in front of it, irrelevant. I want to
Yeah.
remain
Yeah.
relevant as long as possible, because I think that keeps me inspired and keeps my creativity high, But I think
And you're
big part.
you're still writing a lot?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, the pandemic has given me a whole bunch of time to write, because ain't nothing else you can do. You can't go nowhere but stay in the house and write.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have a studio at home?
I'm speaking to you from it right now.
Nice. Nice.
In the background, I'm sitting behind my mixing console.
Nice.
And do you have any upcoming projects that you want to talk about or tell our audience about, or anything going on?
Well, I have a couple projects that are uploaded on CD Baby, and they're covered by iTunes and various places that you can download. One is called the Amusement Park Revised. That's my old band, Amusement Park.
Yeah.
And what I did was I took maybe it's like our greatest hits. So our greatest hits on an EP, I reproduced, put them back out. So they're out on CD Baby and iTunes right now. It's called Amusement Park Revised. And then I have another album that I did. It's a tribute to I'm a big fan of his. He's like one of my idols, a guitar player by the name of Johnny Guitar Watson.
Hmm.
So I did a tribute to him, and it's kind of a bluesier, funkier kind of record, but that just came out maybe a year ago. It's called
Wow.
Paul Richmond, a.k.a. Paulie Rich, a tribute to Johnny Guitar Watson.
Wow.
And then I got two more records. No, one more record. One record is called Melinda. It's named after my daughter.
Okay.
And quick story, I know I'm a storyteller, but when she was a baby, 6 months old, we recorded her. Just how babies are cooing and. And so my wife is talking to the baby, and I just picked up a mic and recorded this little cassette. And we kind of kept it in the family for years, 10, 15 years. And we would always play it for Melinda. And the older she would get, she would cry every time she would hear it because she knows it's her at 6 months old. And so someone told me to make a CD copy of this because this tape was really getting old and decrepit. So I made the CD copy off the cassette. And as soon as it finished playing the tape, the cassette broke. But I made the copy over to the CD.
You got it just in time.
Just in time. So then I recorded a song. I made a song, wrote the song, Melinda, dropped the audio of her baby talking in the background. And now it's uploaded onto CD Baby. You can see it on YouTube and everything. It's called Melinda by the Richmonds. So,
oh, beautiful, Paul.
Yeah, stories for days. I got them,
That was a sweet story.
Yeah.
Well, I think you were going to sing and play a couple of tunes for us, right?
If need be, it's up to you.
We would
I
love
hope
that.
you will.
Yes,
Okay, well,
we'd love that.
I prepared medley
Oh, good.
of 3 songs,
Okay.
and I'm going to have to apologize in advance because my voice is not in the best form. I'm going to have to blame it on the COVID because I haven't been working, haven't been singing, so whatever happens with my voice is just going to be on its own. I'm going to say prayers to God, watch over my voice. But I can't make no promises.
All right.
But what I like to
I'm
do
sure
is
it'll be fine.
I hope it will. But the medley is going to consist of the Manhattan song, Shining Star.
Okay.
It's just a short medley. Then it's going to go into In the Mood, the Tyrone Davis song, and then I'm gonna conclude by singing the song No that my band Amusement Park had recorded. Maybe
Perfect.
So,
Perfect. And this medley will serve as your 2 songs, or do you have another song after this one?
this is all in one.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that works.
And let me know if my guitar is loud enough.
Sounds beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and let me make sure it's in tune. Because it sounds a little bit off. I'll be brief. Everything drifted. Okay, I think we're ready. Woo, yeah, honey, you are my shining star. Don't you go away, no, baby. I wanna be right here where you are till my dying day. Yeah, baby. La 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 la. Come here, baby. Girl, I wanna make sweet love to you. Oh, and honey sugar. There ain't no telling what I'm gonna do. Ooh, what I'm feeling. Feeling good, feeling like you never felt. And just like ice cream, And honey, my love is gonna make you melt. Ooh, are you in the mood, baby? Ooh, are you? Well, are you in the mood? And it would have to happen on a day like today, girl, that you say you're going away. And it would have to happen in a moment like this when I need you. I really do. Ooh, so many nights I neglected to hold you tight. And so many times I forgot to tell you, honey, I'm glad you're mine. But girl, before you call it a day, I just wanna say, baby, baby, I'm sorry, maybe we can make amends and start all over again. Whoa, 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 no, don't just say you have to go away, girl. No, oh no, 'cause I love you so. Said I love you, baby. Ooh. Oh, yeah. It would have to happen on a day like today, girl, that you say you're going away. And it would have to happen in a moment like this when I need you. I really do. Oh no. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
Paul.
oh my God, that was so awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be playing that after the Zoom's over.
That's
Okay.
beautiful.
Uh,
I remembered that last one and just started singing right away.
Yeah,
right.
It's so cool to hear them like in their like original
In
state.
their original,
yes.
As
right?
far as it get.
Yeah.
And those are, I mean, huge, wonderfully written. Those are big songs. All
Yeah.
three of those songs are
How cool.
amazing. Wow,
I,
Paul.
yeah, I wrote two of them about my wife too.
Oh, that's
Aww.
extra special.
But we ain't got time for those stories.
And did you write lyrics to those songs about your wife? Did you write all the lyrics?
Well, the song you just heard, no, that was her and I. We had a real big breakup. You know, we just started dating, maybe dating for about a year, and she was torn between me and somebody else, and the somebody else won. I lost. We broke up, and then we got back together. And now we're married today. With
Yay!
children. So a happy ending.
Oh, that's yeah, how it's
Okay.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
Wow. Well, you have a lot to be proud of.
yeah.
I am so grateful that Tim has introduced us, and I'm so glad that you've agreed to come and be a part of this show. It has meant the world to both Sami and myself.
And
Thank
these
you
are,
Great.
I really
very
appreciate
much.
it.
So we can find your old songs, of course, out there on the in the record shelves. And what new stuff do you have coming out?
Well, I did a remake of that song you just heard, the full production version of it on CD Baby in iTunes.
Nice.
No, just the tag one word. No.
Okay.
It's only a 5-song EP, but it's like our greatest hits, but redone. Some of the members of the group had gone on to be with the Lord. They passed away, so I couldn't do a reunion. So I did the next best thing, and so we just kind of put it together. And one of the other members of the band is playing the piano on the song. Has a real nice piano concerto type thing at the beginning.
Nice.
And but CD Baby and iTunes, you could find it.
Under your name, Paul? It'll be under Paul Richmond?
Well, it's gonna be like under Amusement Park
Band.
Revised, featuring Paul Richmond.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Amusement Park Revised featuring Paul Richmond. Then you can get it from there.
Great.
And did you do vocals on the recordings?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You sounded great.
No,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
I appreciate the appreciation.
I love it. Thank you so much, Paul Richmond, for being our guest today.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim Gant.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Tim
wonderful.
Gant. Not Tim Grant, Tim Gant.
Tim Gant, without the R.
That's right, Tim Gant.
And Sima Cunningham.
And it's Paul Richmond.
Yes, I think I said your name. I gave you 3 different names today.
And wait, Sami. And Tim is a keyboardist, not a guitarist. Thank you so much, you guys. Sima Cunningham, thank you. We really appreciate all of you guys being here. Sami and I are so grateful for
Can we
all of the
highlight the screen one more time, just in case anybody wants to see some emails of our guests?
Yes, highlight the tip screen, and we want to
contact them that way or tip them that way.
Yes, and we also don't want to forget to say thank you to everybody that tuned in on the Facebook Live. We appreciate all of you guys too. And again, if any of you are composers or songwriters and you are interested in being featured on an upcoming show, please send a request to Sami and myself at therealcomposerscafe@gmail.com. We'll be reviewing all of the requests, and we'll hopefully get to an upcoming show. We're doing these shows once a month, and if the demand is overwhelming, we'll go to twice a month. So,
I think you have the power to highlight the screen because I don't.
do you see it? I think I did it.
No,
Highlighted.
I don't see it highlighted. So.
Does anybody else? It says it's spotlighted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody there. I'm getting yeses, so they see it.
Okay, good. That's weird. It's not on my page, so.
Yeah, and so anybody that wants to send tips to Sima Cunningham, Tim Gant, or Paul Richmond, or all 3,
Or just find out where they are.
or find out where they are, their information is right here, posted on the screen. Again, thank you, Paul and Tim and Sima. We appreciate all of you guys, and we are so fortunate to be graced with your presence and to hear all your artistic creativity. And Sami, do you want to say anything else before we go?
I just realized my problem was I was not on speaker view, so somebody's saying they can't see the tip screen either. So put your cursor at the top of your screen and click on speaker view, and you will see me, Paul, and Lynn, and the information screen.
Yes, there are
That we're
2
speaking
screens.
about.
Right.
And, yeah, this was great fun. Thank you so much. Yes, thanks, Paul. Everybody, mask up. Happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving. And let's come through 2020 all being healthy, all right, and safe.
Okay.
Thank you, Sammy. I
All right.
love you.
Love you too.
I
Thank
love
you.
you.
You
Thank
guys.
you,
Everybody for
everybody, for
joining
joining us. Thank you, Tim Gant. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Love you guys.
so
Thank you. I
much,
love
so
you
much.
guys too. I
You're
love you
welcome.
guys.
All righty.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, honey. Happy Thanksgiving, Charlene. I love you. Thank you for coming.
Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, Sammy and I are going to stay on for a minute. Fran, thank you so
Brandy, you're
much.
awesome.
You were wonderful. She nailed it, didn't she?
Oh, man, totally.
Thank you, honey.
Where did Sonia go?
She had to leave to get to Bob's. She sent me a
Oh,
text and said she had to leave 5 minutes before 8 so that she could get over there and help him.
she decided not to do that song.
Yeah, their timing issues weren't right, and so they did have a rehearsal today, and he reached out to her because she kept saying, "Look, she